Thank you very much. I want to start by thanking our fans, both in diaspora and locally, for supporting us during the online voting and also for supporting us in spirit to uh, to lift our son to pick the award of the Gospel Music Award of the Year. I want to thank everyone in their various capacities, our mothers from all walks of life, whose spirits were touched by the song made by Yankee. I know today you're waiting for a big announcement from the Northern Uganda Music Awards, which happened yesterday, but unfortunately, we got robbed. The announcement is not as good as supposed to be for the following reasons. Uh, as we sit here reflecting on the vibrant and the electric atmosphere of the Northern Uganda Music Awards 2025, which was held yesterday in Peche Memorial Stadium, I can't help but feel a now sense of unease. What should have been an evening of celebration, unity, and recognition for our region's best musical talent has left many of us with more questions than answers. And one of the questions keeps echoing louder with each and every passing second. What happened to the Gospel Artist of the Year Howard? To put it plainly, Mr. Yankee deserved to take home the Howard. Yet, against all odds, the logic, the Howard went to Mr. Lion King. A choice that frankly leaves most to be desired in terms of transparency and fairness. While I've nothing but respect for Mr. Lion King's talent, the circumstances surrounding these decisions have raised a series of concerns that needs addressing. One, the online voting mystery. Let's start with the elephant in the room here. The online voting results. It wasn't just a casual glance of numbers. We all know those who voted for Yankee had absolutely dominated the voting platform, leading with a whopping over 50% of the votes online, which means the rest of the artists were sharing 49%. For those of us watching with bated breath, this was supposed to be a slam dunk in the game of basketball. The fans had spoken. They were clear. Mr. Yankee was the choice. So, how did we go from a landslide lead to a result that defies all expectations? Now, I'm not saying that the online voting is infallible, but when there is a clear, overwhelming majority supporting one artist, it would be nice if we didn't feel like the rug had been yanked out of us. When the audience has spoken so loudly, there is a certain level of disbelief that follows such an outcome, and a fair bit of confusion too. The second confusing issue is we had a performance that shook the roof and the wallets of our audience yesterday. I must also draw attention to what happened on stage. Mr. Yankee did just perform that night. He owned the stage. His performance was electric, a true display of artistry that stirred the crowd to their very core. I've never seen a stadium erupt like that when he went on his knees. The money people threw at him were really massive. It wasn't just a gesture, it was a statement. It's not every day you see that kind of love an artist gets. The crowd cheered, they danced, they showed their admiration in a way that left no room for doubt. Mr. Yankee had the people's heart by first making people to raise all their hands as he entered into the stage. That was iconic for us. And yet, after all that, the crowd went elsewhere. The award went elsewhere. There's a word for what we witnessed, but I'm choosing to be diplomatic in this case. Let's just say the crowd's response made it pretty clear who they felt was the artist of the year in the gospel category. Another mystery was the voting process, which was a very selective process. a very selective affair. Now let's talk about the voting process here. If there was one thing I know about the Numa Awards, is that fairness and transparency are supposed to be at the heart of everything. So imagine the surprise when it was revealed that the voting papers were being distributed selectively to members of the audience. We don't know who the hell those members were. No clear criteria were given, no transparency in the process. It's as if someone just pulled out a list and said, you are chosen ones to do voting on behalf of us. Now, this raises a very valid question. What was the basis of this selection of the people who voted? Was it by the ticket numbers? Then why didn't we get? I bought a ticket myself, but I was the manager. Was it a random draw? Was it a secret handshake? We don't know. But what I do know is that when you start handing out voting papers without any transparency, you risk undermining the very purpose of these awards. If everyone in the audience had been given a chance to vote upon presentation of their tickets, at least we would say the process was inclusive, transparent, but that didn't happen. The vote counting process, we saw strings of confusion. The awards almost went up to 7 a.m. in the morning because there were fights on stage which was visible. Now moving on to the vote counting and digital paper. There's a saying in the industry that what happens behind the curtains stays behind the curtain. But when it comes to award of this magnitude, we deserve a little more transparency than that. No one seems to know who counted the votes, how they were counted, or what rules were followed. In fact, the lack of clarity here is almost as disorienting as the results itself. With so much riding on this one night, surely the process should be laid out in clear black and white. Who were the officials involved? Were there any checks and balances in place to ensure that the votes was conducted fairly? We need to know, because right now it feels like we are playing a game where the results aren't being shared with everyone. It's a hide and seek game. Now, the next hour issue of controversy of the night was the iconic song controversy, which is the biggest elephant in the room. But perhaps the most jaw-dropping part of this whole ordeal revolves around the iconic song of the Howard. You see, when the organizers called for the submission of songs to be used for the competition, we complied. The three songs were presented, including for us, Yeso Bin Elara, a song that has, for all intents and purposes, captured the hearts and souls of northern Uganda. And Ugandans are large in diaspora. It means, come save me, Jesus. It resonates with everyone. And it has moved both hearts and crowds since its release. But we understand the plan was to perform all the three songs that we submitted during the Howard ceremony. But when it came to the time, we were given the shocking news that only one song would be allowed. Naturally, as management, I advised my artists. We went with the song Yeso Binilara, which is our most popular, most loved, most impactful song yet to date. But here's where the thing gets really murky. Rumors started circulating that Yeso Binilara wasn't awarded the gospel song of the year because it had won an award in the previous year. And this raises a truly baffling question. What's the issue with a song winning an award 2 years in a row if it remains relevant and contemporary, fresh, and continues to impact community? Is the Gospel Artist of the Year award for the best song of the year or for the best artist who has made the most profound impact in the gospel genre throughout the year? It's not, we were not voting for the song. We were voting for the artist who made the song. Why are we mixing issues in this context? If Yesu Binilara is still changing lives, still resonating with the crowd, still filling stadium with cheers, then why on earth would it be disqualified just because it was successful last year? That doesn't make sense. The truth is, music doesn't have a shelf life like milk. A great song is a great song, regardless of the year it was made. Tupac died long time ago. Is this song not touching our hearts today? Now, this is our call. A call for justice, transparency, and common sense in the Numa Awards. It's hard not to feel like Mr. Yankee was robbed of his well-deserved victory. This wasn't just about one Howard, but about the credibility of the entire event and the institution of Numa itself. We all want to see the Northern Uganda Music Award thrive and grow. But for that to happen, the process needs to be transparent, fair, and inclusive. I urge the organizing committee to take a long, hard look at the events that transpired, re-examine the voting process, the handling of the iconic songs, the overall fairness of the decision making. If this is about celebrating talent, we need a system that actually celebrates it, not one that leaves us scratching our heads and questioning the integrity of the award. I remain hopeful that with your leadership, we can restore faith in Northern Uganda Music Awards and ensure that future editions truly reflect the spirit of our music industry. Fair, transparent, and passionate. Thank you for your time and attention to this matter. I eagerly wait response from the Numa organizing committee and, more importantly, a resolution that restores the integrity of the awards we all cherish. Myself, Dr. Paul Ayala, the manager, Yankee Production. At this time now, I give an opportunity for Yankee to kind of break whatever I've said in pieces and maybe throw more flesh to it, and also for my brother Happy to throw more light on what transpired and how we were robbed of our well-deserved victory. Thank you so much.
Yam for you to twal kakana actually jomo boli rakwi ki jomo mar wena itok piny ma pat pat mo akalok mano manager ma mega liet twal kainen ichui kum la weni mai lwenyo pire dak kwanyo kar ni yeno chiet kamoni chi gitimo gen ma pore no tor chwinye machalo ngat matia yele italian ma mega nyo in music career ma mega koni dano pen wigi pinga wati a complaining and poberu complain and mano beru yapu yo ki joma ngej pian awati pobo girtian diri foru bo beru tie o miero giti kada dok bene ki ye ni adaw betie gen magi chako winyo lok marama dek magi loko ikum an ya ikwi michim ono dong ana loyo ki pasen piara big angwen ma ono dong nyurni kami chim dano gweta kwi ane bene pa gwera kwi dano magi maru wena ene go beru ka gweta kwi chungi bene beru yum tutwal andande bene mano joma pono kar ma pekiti ki ker me bino iba peje nyo kamano program ene bo beri ye ikine joma keneti woko ma angeo chunyu beto tutwal me wine ni pa watia wat after teach matek ma wono TOP an dong beru ka winyo rumors mage wajo ni wema anakati kere enini uberu wema no dong analoyo kere award yes aduong ki welo tua eto we chawa ni kamogo ka o ka fot pa wer weni enoni dano fo no chalo pa wer bene duong pa dano wacho ni ka de bi wer weni wa weni enini ye pian wa no kai wer olo gonyo wa chu wero chung bene ki weni eni pian kar ma giluwa wa ka feeling form mi again mi numa enini gipenyo wapi we marama dek no mera wacho waket piny they can wear dek pol kar ge miyo no wear yo ene wa wear achel ber mi introducing ama ini beri stage kida achel ene ber chal we ma olo twalo mere dano winy gitiere chi akero yes bin lar ma chal we ma olo twalo okelo an kama leng dok dano bene ngeo dano bene maro dong atamo ni omiero achet kere apo we dano because kiti neno wa kere wan we lega chao kene atur dano atura ki we kage wani eni Yankee mogo ter kar ke dano meni ay kumwa ento ka ini introducing we man magen ngeo ni chigi nyai kumi ka de kelu gen manyen lutua we machalo we lega po ber we magi rone ki promoting one promoting we genu yoto twal ma koko tinti dire ter kar dok ben luba miuno te chawa ber dano nyang lok me ye atie ben no ki we manyen mana ke release na be wer magilone achunki yesu en yo ber we manyen mana tamana sera introducing ento Aber surprise me nana lu we lu wara gitika min gi we ari i category mo kenani ento o kumwai gospel di chako min wa we achiel achiel mabene gi chiko wa en mo bino ka gam microphone go we ni pau butum chilu tu we ma chalo we lega ba po ber we ma ini wero u yor yor ti daro nyang ber we mo mer gi luot ngar mo luori chi unen chi chak neno kit me yubo gi kuone endo ka ini tero rom rom kala kwat katika pitu tika tuchu jiri chi wela kwat mo yor chawa tie palo ba po beri area ni anoni chi ene bere challenge mala wo no but crowd mago biro kumina chwak ya ber yom to twal pian onyuro ma o wa ben cha ma geti announcing ni an pa loyo dan maduong chim tin en chim ti maduong ma geti go na geti penya yanki gena ngo ma raj ngo wa po ti me ken man wati be ko po ber mer pa ana yele a luenyo kid ma ana twero kede a performing wa all twalo ben ma ben pini la we la wara ma mira wati wer mara wene bero kok ma ber twal kono do dong twin fans mago ber ka gwete wa queen no 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 pore pian gian machalo no mago wacho wani kel we mengeni dano maro ene ngo magi wacho ba o we bene watamo ni wakel ki don complain mari about Numa ene ni an gitamo no mer kono pege mia wat pian last year timo ngom ono mer pedon gi ket wa kera lokwe I awa tigi gone wachim because these are the people mago gone wachim ni nyingu gitimo gikero obian wano nominating one wa ko sia dak I award gen gi kom gi no no por no mer wan dak no wa dak chen so ana lego mer don kija ka onen gwa chao kene wa logo marach and watika tamo pe joma tika bini nge wani ni dire kere bed ubu kera wad unen uno iye kado no ni wan watio award to podo dua kwa we stage pedo ket wa wadak we abamba tuwa joma fot pa kutio ne kutimo ka no ni miete ni wan muti ya wati ke kenen chok wa kelwa ka kenyi beno chok en wan muti ya wati ke kenen kelwa we kwa bin wa nge ni wan wen wati ya wati so we lega pole po wer no mipiem titwal ento kama twin manager ma mega tu ye ene mine ano nigi kero an ya wad ber chalo wachi gi no mer gi kerwa kuno me met well ma no don poti me mabechi alego mere kija ka wa logo marach keyboard won fans bene wa belego ni obed ma chinyu te do ti me pepe no ket kiniga tutwal we foro be meti ki wer we mabe yeto awad beno wange mo ken foti ka bino foro bu chung kwed waka wa kok bene bodu foro bu chung kwed wa ikwi an fo ma tek mano bero chin ma to ke ban manager ma mega pian dano ka kero sene kuma an tero ka mani mano miri pa dano ti kuma tor chin tutwal an fo ma tek chwa ka wa fo ma tek chung kwed wa fo ma tek winyo wa bene
Yeah. Anong pa be lok ma pol tutwal. Lok manager uloko. Pian kama chinyo to yeah. Kachel ki one fans. Ngeo mostly one disability. Mawatik and pachi. Gospel ene pole cho chinywa piketa watikere. So kadong wa bino maluke gi ket mano miero kwi uwat kwere. Gin mabene wang wow nano. Down wang fans wang gu nano. Ni Yankee utio mabe. Che amero ni kong luba yo lok chwing executive money me uma one. Once ini tika luo la 10 money me presenting talent ma mege. Omiero in bene tim gin mano petoro chwing en kachel ki chwero chwing fans tinene. Weni kok igulu city kan keken ene ngene iye kituok piny kamo kene eno kin char kuja weni ti we machoko chuny dane kin pachi chi walega penny one wamera words ento wamera ni kenen ni ono mala chen kibe yobo kano don we Timothy award don peki nominating konkani ana penyo uma ye makiyero I radio kiye makiyero I diba makibolo through votes mene ma wunu tiu kedene pien wunu tip building one the way mekele waka kachel me wek one wa new talent wa en kada wundo ge utimu gien madok chwero chinywa ka dire ma wan don wunu lu wan pa o ben no be chwer chinyu ki tim gen ma no kelo gen eto pe kero ken dana kera so wana tipi wun wun luak bene po nen chelo wana timo ginen marach u tim kisa ka kamano u bale ye jimma wan mo neno marach ene ye ngol mati ubedo pere kum performance eni yanki utim maber da wene mu donyo kede wi abam jimmy weng mu timo utim weng maber da so wakwaye kisa ki wek generation mu babini ngewa ki ti ki procedure mal twere anya apiman amor wona choli duchu foyo.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. That's all our complaint is. We want fairness, justice, and restore the integrity of Numa. To me, I think the issue is with the institution itself. That is our call. Our statement, I'm giving it to you in writing, a copy of it in writing. So to follow up, yeah, wherever it goes. Thank you so much. We appreciate you giving us our audience. We appreciate our fans. Our intent is not to step on anybody's toes. Our intent is not to rob the Lion King of his award, but to let him know it was a fraudulent act of injustice. Thank you.